Okay, so we are on to day 141 of going through my old journal. The quote for today says, "Sometimes there is no next time, no timeouts, and no second chances. Sometimes it's now or never." What feels like it's now or never in your life? So if you're following along, just take a minute to think about how you would respond to this. And let's see what I said. Sorry about the noise, it's pretty cold outside today, so I got my little space heater running, but also all my cats are in here, so maybe a cat interruption or two. But let's see, what feels like it's now or never? I said, I don't think there's anything that feels like that at the moment. My health is good, so I don't feel like that will hold me back anytime soon. I've almost reached the highest level of academics, so there's no feeling of needing to get started or catch up on my education. At some point, I like to travel more, but I've already seen a lot of the world, and there's still plenty of time to see more of it. One thing I would like to start in the near future is some sort of business. I'd also like to do something with my property. Yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about for like forever, is like, when am I going to settle down? When am I going to do something? I've got this land. I feel like, it's just sitting here not being used. Like, what am I going to do with it? I almost feel guilty for like having this land when other people could like, which I don't have like a ton of land. It's only like 3 acres, I think. But I've just got this big field that's empty that could be doing something productive. I could be growing food or doing something with it. So yeah, I do feel like I want to do something with that, but I don't know like how to get started. And like even like the things that I want to do, I don't know how to even do it because I'm struggling to even get a new roof put on my house. Like I've I finally like got the nerve to get some quotes on it, and I approved a quote. Like the guy was like getting back to me really quickly, and I approved the quote like 3 months ago, and I keep like reaching out to try to get like, do you have an idea of when it's gonna get started? And it's like, well, I'll have my installer call you, or like I'll give you a call back, and I'm just not getting any responses. I haven't even like picked out the color or talked like, and so I'm just like, how do you even find people to like work with if you want to like do a project, Like I've got several building projects, and I was kind of like thinking this would be the first step of like, okay, let me find somebody that can, kind of help me with some of this work. So I have like 2 roofs that need to be replaced. I wanted to get some work done on my house, and I'm thinking I've got a local guy that's nearby that can do all this. But it's like, how do you find somebody that's good and reliable to kind of help? And I would like to just do things on my own, but I don't know how to do that sort of stuff. And so I don't know. Anyway, so that'll be something. I'm sure there's people here that are like reliable that could help, build out some of my ideas, but I don't know. Right now I'm focused on school, so I'm not too worried about it yet, but at some point. And then I go on to say, again, none of that feels super pressing just yet. I said, I guess maybe there's a bit of a now or never feeling in terms of changing some bad habits. I said, I mean, I do feel like I'm healthy and have plenty of time to do whatever I want in life. But if I don't continue down the path I've been on for the past 6 months or so, I may not have as much time left to do whatever I want. So I think maybe at this point, I had been like working on changing habits and getting healthier and things like that. And so I think what I was saying was like, if I don't continue with this, then, that might not be the case because I am getting older. And if I don't like commit and stick to a healthy lifestyle, then I may not have as much, even if I do have years on my life, like the quality of those years, like I've talked about before, was seeing like the quality of life at the end of my grandparents' life. So I said, thankfully, I'm already headed in the right direction and plan to keep improving. So yeah, I would say if I were going to answer this question like a year before I did, when everything was just kind of like, when I wasn't like on the path to getting into better habits and better health and like things like that, then that was probably what I would say. But I feel like I hit my now or never moment like a year before I wrote this entry, and it was just kind of like I was in, you know, just a place where I didn't know where I wanted to go in life, and I was just feeling, you know, whatever. And so I have slowly been making those changes. And so I think, yeah, I don't really feel like there's anything that's like now or never. Thankfully, I've done most of what I would have wanted to do, or if I haven't like completed most of what I wanted to do, I feel like the things that I've done in the past have set me up to be able to do some of those things. So I don't know. I don't feel like I'm that far behind. Like my roommate feels, I think like things are moving kind of slow, because there are some things that we want to do maybe together, like do some traveling and stuff. But I think he feels kind of stuck because I am not free to travel, but I don't feel like it's a big deal. I'm like, I see the end of the tunnel with my PhD. Like once I finish my PhD, like there'll be all the freedom in the world to me, I feel like. But I'm just thinking like, it's not that much time. Like to me, a year is not a lot of time. And the fact that it's looking like I'll be finishing within the next year or year and a half, like that seems like nothing to me. So I'm like, I can hold off on traveling until that. But I get the sense that he's feeling like there's a now or never thing to like traveling, and he goes back and forth on it, like wanting to travel and not wanting to. So I don't know, we'll see. But he also hasn't traveled, so I can understand like the urgency. You know, for me it's not that urgent because I have traveled and seen a lot of places, so there's not that urgency for me to do that. So I don't know. I think I'm fortunate to have like done so many things that I don't feel like there's a now or never. I guess maybe for some people my age there is that feeling. There would probably be that feeling of like, and I know I bring this up a lot because it's just been something that I've been coming across a lot on social media, and it's giving me a lot of relief that other people have the same thoughts of like about marriage and having kids and things like that. Because if I wouldn't have come across all of that and come across people that, or women that have like not gotten married and not had kids, and I may, especially where I'm living right now, like I may have felt that pressure of like, oh my gosh, I'm getting close to 40, like I am not married, I don't have kids. Like I think there could be for some women that pressure of like being in their late 20s or 30s and start to have that pressure of like, oh, I need to get married, I need to have kids, I need to start a family. But I'm just really glad that I don't have that. Like it's I don't have any of that like now or never at all. So in terms of that, in terms of having a family, I feel like that's just not for me. I just came across a TikTok about this girl talking about the foster care system and things like that. And that is something that I think about, you know, potentially fostering at some point. But yeah, I don't know. All of the things that I feel like I want to do in the future, I guess there's just not really a sense of urgency or like a time frame on it. So for me, this isn't really, applicable, I guess. But anyway, that's what I have for that one. I'll be back tomorrow for day 142.